since we're on the topic of digital games and things like that and pre-ordering, which one of you guys are pre-ordering the Steam machine?
Nope.
Nope. Absolutely not. Listen, just the fact that they're coming in hot. I think, what was it, like $1,000 if you don't get the highest edition that they got. And by the way, yeah, and I've had by the way, I've had a Steam controller, and I just got my first DualSense Edge controller, which I'm loving, by the way. But I have the Steam controller on order, and that's been on back order, and I have not gotten a copy yet, because you got to sit in this queue or whatever, and they have to give you the ability to order. And they're coming out with the Steam machine now. But just them coming in at $1,000 just for that device, and are considering that I just upgraded my PC to a 5080. I'm not buying that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not buying the Steam machine, I think.
So Mr. Steam himself is not buying the Steam machine. That's what you're telling us?
Well, I don't think I have a real use case for it, because I'm playing anything that apparently, and I don't know, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the company that does all of the baseline benchmarking on like a lot of like hardware platforms or whatever.
There's a bunch that
I'm trying to. Yeah. There are, but there's one that's famous for benchmarking like games on PC and PS5, et cetera, and doing like a deep analysis. But from what I remember seeing, apparently the PS5 is beating out the Steam machine in a couple instances, right? So like, if that is true, and they're beat like the PS5, and base PS5, not PS5 Pro, base PS5 is beating out the Steam machine. You mean to tell me that like I have a base PS5 beating out the Steam machine on some games, and it's more expensive by like $600? I mean, why would I do that? You know what I mean? Like, I start a PC build if I want to get like a mid to starter or mid tier build. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's worth it, man.
So, Caveman, you aren't you using the Steam platform also?
Well, that's two separate things. I use Steam to purchase games. That has nothing to do with the machine.
So you're not going to buy the machine.
Excuse me?
So you're not going to buy the machine either.
That was never a thought.
I mean, Caveman is running a 4080. If he bought the Steam machine, I'd be like, why? You know what I mean? Like,
even then, like it never made sense, because you have to remember, even at the price that it's at, like I believe they had configured it from hardware from like 2 or 3 years ago, right? That's what's in there. It's hardware from like 2 or 3 years ago, and they just never changed it. They never upgraded it, right? So yeah, you're looking at old hardware that's selling for current prices, which is way too high, not just because of the storage, just everything about it is just too high. Even if you go back to what they originally wanted to sell it for like $500 or whatever it was, I think even then it's too high.
So I have a question. I have a question about the Steam machine, because, me, I don't know anything about Steam so much. I obviously was never getting the Steam machine, but
we'll get you there.
It's like, but let's say, is it possible, or would your opinion change if the Steam machine is an upgradable machine? If it's not a closed concept machine, like sort of how the PS5 is, where we can only add memory to it, but we can't change the other components, versus what if the Steam machine lets you change the components, that graphics card, or whatever, 5090, 4080, 2099, whatever you want to put into.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if it would necessarily be a ripoff. Let's say, well, for people like us who have high end PCs, that's not gonna look very compelling. But let's say you have, if you wanted to, if they made it upgradable, because you could take the faceplate off and stuff like that, and I don't think that is their approach. But that might be a genius idea if you want to take I think some of the player base away from console, console gamers moving over to PC. And Steam is already the most popular uh, the most popular game launcher and platform for playing PC games anyway, right? So if they wanted to take away a lot of the market share from consoles and they introduce a console that is based off of their PC, their launcher and platform, and their entire interface, and they made it upgradable like a PC, that would be an introduction to buying a base PC, right? Because right now, the core argument as to why you wouldn't even want to buy a Steam machine is, one, just like Caveman said, it's older architecture, older hardware, whatever. But what if it came in with the same performance as a base or mid-tier level PC that is upgradable, but in a small form factor, which small form factor PCs are a thing. So I mean, they'd be trying to target multiple areas of market share, man. It honestly would personally be brilliant.
You just said exactly what I was thinking. That already exists. There are already small form factor PCs. Why are they not doing it now?
Well, they don't.
But
those small form factors probably don't have the name that the Steam has. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just building a small PC versus Steam being a company that's already grounded. But has a player base that buys games from them. And
I think you flipped it though. You said it's just building a PC when it's the other way around, where the PC is the more powerful thing. It can do a lot more versus getting the Steam. Now, all you can do is run games on it, where you could get.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's not necessarily true, right? That you can just run games on the Steam machine, because the Steam Deck, you can actually plug that into your TV and run it like a PC and get on browsers once you put it in desktop mode. Well, and that we're talking about the handheld.
So can you really run it like a PC?
Yes. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. People do it all the time to kind of showcase there's
like, besides just watching TV, are you like running apps, Microsoft Word?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's a PC.
It's still Linux.
That's what I mean. So now you're getting a machine where maybe you can upgrade it, or maybe there's something that they're going to give us. Maybe they haven't announced it yet. That's going to come with the Steam machine, or make the Steam machine seem like the console to get. Because you got to remember, they're competing against a player base that Sony has created for like the last 30 years. And, Microsoft also coming into the game at some point when the Xbox came out. So there's already a big competition here. What value is Steam giving us with the new Steam machine that will make people want to leave their console and go to them? And for me, even, it's just a thought. I think that there's a possibility that maybe we're going to be able to upgrade this, or maybe we're going to be able to use the Steam machine for other capabilities other than just playing games.
I think you're talking from someone that's not necessarily on Steam, so you don't necessarily understand the benefits of the Steam platform and like the library of like games that exist on Steam that would want someone that's on console to still actually be on the Steam platform as well, and on both. So I think that's one draw for the console. I mean, for the console or Steam platform versus PlayStation and Xbox. But one thing I'll say from like a consumer perspective, I'd say like, even with it being upgradable, it wouldn't interest me, because even still with the prices, it's like just get a PC. For me to be interested in something like this, it would have to be like very baseline entry level, where let's say how on the new Call of Duty they're phasing out the last PlayStation, for example. Let's say where it's like, hey, this is like the very, very baseline you can get to these new level games. And it may not be the best, but it will work. But then it's like dirt cheap. So as people are saying, like, gaming did it more expensive. If this was like a cheap option where it's like, hey, this is the baseline, but you can upgrade these, but you're going to get this for a lot cheaper than you can get a PC or a PlayStation or an Xbox. That would interest me. But for the prices they're charging for it, and then I got to upgrade it anyway, it's like, I could just get a PC and just upgrade that.
Okay,